Hello and welcome to another video on JD's Booze Reviews. Today we have a bit of a stout showdown. We are putting against Guinness Draught Stout versus Guinness 0.0 Stout, an alcohol-free version. So I'd be interested to know what the difference is between these two beers, if they taste similar, if they taste the same, whether I can taste the difference. And just throw into the mix, Brewdog Black Heart, which is meant to be a Guinness competitor or a Guinness alternative. So we're interested to see if I can tell which one is the Black Heart, which one is the Guinness, and which one is the Guinness 0.0%. Now, me being able to just pull these out and tell which one's which is pretty straightforward, probably. So I have asked my glamorous assistant, my partner, to pour out these beers and remember which one's in each glass, and then I'm going to taste them and see if I can guess the right ones in the right glasses. So they have all been poured out for me, and well, as you can probably guess, they all look very, very similar. I mean, as you can imagine, coloration on our draft stout is going to be probably the same on all three. So they're all very truthful to the style. I mean, if I was going to looking at the colour of the head, I mean, the middle one is a little whiter than the rest, but really that is the only real difference. So let's get these tasted and see if I can deduct from that. Right, so drink number one. So it's going to be a bit hard to tell on colour because they're all very black and not see-through at all, but so that's very light, very malty. Does have a Guinnessy whiff to it, so okay. That has an interesting bitterness to it. Quite, I don't want to say astringent, but it does taste a little bit tangy on first taste. There is a distinct lack of any body and any thickness. So it does make me think that this is the 0% one. Now I know how Guinness tastes normally, but don't taste like that. But it's quite close. And it's just a little bit off of it. So I think that one's the alcohol-free one, but I'll not lock it in until I've tried them all. But that's what I think for the first one. So drink number two, and this is the one I thought was the alcohol-free one because of the white head, but maybe that's the Guinness natural one. I don't think it is, but I remember the Guinness having a bit more of a hue, but I'm getting very little off that. Yeah, slightly more darker, sort of a bit more, sort of, not burnt, but a bit darker of a smell, so. But not very much aroma on this one. Yeah, I've been sat there for a little bit, so maybe the aroma's gone, but looks like I'm trusting my taste. So yeah, that one does taste very different. A lot more darker, a lot more, like I said, kind of burnt, like caramelised to the point of being a little bit burnt, so sort of burnt malts. So fairly creamy, which draft stouts kind of are, but with a nice dark bite to it. Originally I thought this one was quite obvious, but now I'm not so sure, so I'm going to have to try it drink free before I make my prediction. Right, so on to drink number 3. Yeah, no aroma on that one, but okay. That smells a little bit more lighter than the previous one. Doesn't smell as sort of dark burnt caramel, just lighter, which is interesting because of the colour. This is the head is the darkest of them all. Okay. Okay, yeah, so this is didn't smell quite dark and malty, but taste it. It's a little bit sweeter than number 2. But still has quite a nice dark burnt bitterness to it. It's a little bit more chocolatey, I'd say. A little bit more smooth, I'll probably reckon. This is going to be a tricky one, I think. Yeah, so it's like a little bit more chocolatey than number 2. Let me just try number 2 again. But yeah, so this doesn't have that sweetness than that one does, really. Yeah, this is a lot more sweeter, a bit more chocolatey. So I think I'm ready to make my my decision. Fingers crossed, get it right. Right, so I am ready to make my predictions. I've moved the glasses out of the way so I can put the cans in front of the numbers to sort of confirm my choices. So I think that number 1 is the 0.0% Guinness. It was a little bit thin, had a little bit of, it was lacking body, so I think that's the one I'm going for. Now these two were quite close to each other, but I think number 2 is the Guinness, because it had I guess a familiarity to it. Didn't taste as chocolatey as number 3, which I think with the Brewdog Black Heart, I think it is going to be a bit more chocolatey, and from all the times I've had Guinness in the past, I don't think it does taste quite that chocolatey. So Black Heart is going for number 3. So those are my confirmations. So if you want to read out which was which from 1 to 3.
So number 1 was correct. It was Guinness.
Okay.
And 0%.
Good stuff.
Number 2 was the Guinness.
Nice.
And then 3 was the Black Heart.
Awesome. So I did get them all right. I can relax a little bit because I was stressing out slightly that I'd get it wrong. But yeah, that is good stuff to hear. So now I know which beers are which, I'm just going to have another taste of them very quickly, just to sort of compare them more and know what they're like. And I want to just more specifically, I want to compare the alcohol-free Guinness to the regular Guinness. Now I know that that is them. So yeah, there is that weird astringent tartness, and I think Guinness has sort of a bit of that. It has a little bit of that. Yeah, but with that lacking the body, it just tastes a bit off. But that's not a bad alternative to Guinness if you are drinking, you know, you are driving and you want to drink. This is a good comparison for Guinness. It's not that far off. But regular Guinness is missing. It's got a bit more of a creaminess, a bit more of obviously a body. But that's the problem you have with low alcohol beers, is that they just don't have the body. But it's perfectly serviceable as a pint of Guinness. But yeah, there is a little bit of a weird starting taste. And I wonder if that's more prominent because the other things are lacking, but I'm sure I could get used to it if I was drinking this on a pint of it or whatever. So yeah, between the Guinness and the non-alcohol free Guinness, that was quite easy to work out. But between Guinness and Black Heart, it was a little bit trickier. So let's just compare them. So yeah, I mean, he kind of gave it away for me. Well, not massively, but I know Guinness is very... I thought it was not quite as white as that, to be fair, but it does have a white sort of head, whereas the Black Heart is a little bit more chocolatey, and you can definitely taste that in the taste. That's the main thing that gave it away. Was that Black Heart is a little bit more chocolatey, a little bit more, yeah, a little bit more hot chocolate, whereas this is more just sort of dark caramel, I guess. Yeah, there's very little chocolate notes with the Guinness. It's very, yeah, caramelly, dark malt, burnt, sort of more like bonfire toffee, whereas Black Heart is sort of hot chocolate. I mean, which one would I prefer to drink out of these two, you might be wondering? Has to go probably the Black Heart. It has a bit more going for it, a bit more chocolatiness, a bit more of an interesting flavour, whereas Guinness is Guinness. So that is going to do it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you liked this little something a bit different. This sort of taste test, blind taste test, Draught Stout Showcase, let's call it. That's probably what the title of the video is going to be. But with all being said, all said and done, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all them good things, and I will see you on the next video. Cheers!